Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be proceeding with our advanced modeling tools, and in this instance I want to show you how we can make a sweep operation. So sweep usually works with a constant cross-sectional area over a trajectory that is not usually linear. It can be a combination of linear sections and non-linear sections. So that's what we call the trajectory, and then we're going to be sweeping a constant cross-sectional area around or through the trajectory. So this is the command that we're going to be making. It is also known as a foundation bolt, and these are the dimensions that we have been given of the two-dimensional section of our bolt. Let me try to zoom into them because we're going to be dealing with these dimensions first. Okay, so for the linear part of 35, and we have got curves which are tangential to one another. That is one which has got a 25 millimeter radius and a 15 millimeter radius, and another linear section 45, and a semicircle which is 25 in diameter, and then this last part which is going to be 20, and linear section in millimeters right there. So how do we make this thing? So I'm going to be selecting. So what I can actually do, it's not always the case whereby you can start, select the two and then start to sketch. We can actually sketch the trajectory first, and then we can select it once we assign our attributes in our sweep operation. So I'm going to be selecting sketch, and then let me make this component. So I'm going to start from the bottom part. I'm going to draw this in portrait orientation. This is the center lines that have been shown also in the diagram. So I'm going to start by making the semicircle, then I can create this linear part and also this linear part, then I'll get into these curves, and then the linear sections that we get right there. Okay, now let me make the semicircular part. So I can make this using a center and 2 points, center and ends. So this is the center, this will be the first part, and this will be the second part, and then I'm done with the first one. And we said this has got a radius of 25. So this is a radius of 25. Now I can make the next linear section, which is this one. Which is 20 parts. No, this is actually 25, not 5. Yes, now this has been drawn properly. Now we are going to make the next linear section, which is 45. Is it 45? Let me just verify. Yeah, that is 45. Let me put 45 right there. So that's the next part. Now we are going to make a circle. I'm going to make a circle whose radius is 25, and therefore what I actually mean is that the center of the circle lies on this vertical center line, which is horizontal in this case, but vertical, since I'm going to be drawing this in portrait orientation. So I'm going to assign or make a circle whose radius is 25, and it must be tangential to this point at the end of the 45 millimeter linear segment right there. So let me create a circle whose center is here, and we are going to modify the values of this circle. Where is my circle? Can't seem to find the circle. So I'm going to create a circle, and I am going to refill this thing. So the diameter of this thing now will be 50 since the radius is 25. And it has been made like that. Now I want to make sure that this circle is tangential to this end right here. So let me put some constraints. I want a coincident constraint. Let me see this part and this point. So this point, so already it has been made right there. So I'm just going to be cancelling it. Let me check again. Let me just check again. Try another constraint. Alright. Let me try another constraint of this point, and this end is not really selecting here, but it must be tangential from what I am seeing right here. Alright, let me make them on the same horizontal point in the center of this end. Yes, they have been constrained right there, so that's okay. It makes those 2 points tangential to one another. Okay, now we need to make the next circle. But let me try to zoom out a little bit. Now before I make the next circle, let me just make this linear part here, which I'm going to assign a distance of, I'll just put the 35, but I'll try to change it later on, of course. Now let me just leave it like that for the moment, and then let me just make the circle. Since I'm going to be modifying the distance, let me leave it as 40 as assigned by the software. So I'm going to make another circle. The circle here will be having a radius of 50. It must be tangential to the circle that I've drawn first in this case, and it will also be tangential to the line that I've assigned, that has been assigned a distance of 40 by the software that we have previously drawn. So I'm going to make it in that manner. So the center of this circle is somewhere here, and let's make the circle again. Nope. Yes, and the diameter will be 100 in this case, since the radius is 50. And we are saying that this circle must be tangential to this part, to this arc here. So let me assign some constraints. So this must be a tangent. This circle must be tangential to this circle. And this circle must be tangential to this line. Yes, in that manner. I'll click OK, and then let me trim some sections. Let me trim some sections. And I'll also trim this part here. Yes, and then that seems fine with me. I'll get out of the command. Now I need to make sure that this line is actually 35 millimeters. So let me modify this part to this part as 35, and that's it. that's the two-dimensional cross-section of the foundation board that has been given in this picture, and I think I'm happy about it. All the required parameters of this two-dimensional shape has been drawn accordingly. So I'll click OK, and then I'll click done. So what I'm going to do now is that I am going to insert a sweep protrusion. Now I am going to select the trajectory. I'm not going to sketch, but I'm going to select the trajectory, and I'm going to select all these portions of this line. So this one, using the control button, I'm going to select everything that defines the trajectory. Then I'm going to click OK and done. Now we are going to be making the section of the wire, which is 10 millimeters in this case. That's got a diameter of 10 millimeters, and we're going to be selecting the circle option. We are going to be making the circle here at the intersection of that. At the intersection of those lines, we make a circle and we assign 10 millimeters to the diameter of this circle, and we click OK. So we are done. Let's preview this thing. That's our foundation board that has been made right there. Sport to enhance our realism. That's the component that we've made. Beautiful, shiny in this case. I'm happy with the board. I believe you can draw many things that have got uniform cross-section by using the sweeping operation. Pipings of different chemical processes, they can be made using the sweep operation, and can be made exactly in the same manner that we have made the foundation board. Alright, if you're happy with that, we click OK and we click done. So these are some of the advanced modeling tools that we can use in our designs. Let me see you in the next video tutorial. See you there.